let's just take a quick chat after all of that about technique, rubato, phrasing, and why I'm using my thumb more than anything else. Okay, welcome to this quick explanation and chat and overview. As I stated in the beginning, the main goal here is rubato, rub time, and phrasing. You will find very few guitarists that will play this straight. The whole point of this is to play it with phrasing and rob the time to give it back somewhere else. So don't lose the pulse, but at the same time, give some air to the notes. I want to point out straight away, you're not to do this. So that's 80 beats per minute, so I'm just going to use that as quavers. So can you see it is dead and it's flat? What you are meant to do, and I can't express highly enough to go and listen to John Williams at half speed. You can actually hear the spaces that he creates with this section. So we're looking at, and you can see him bouncing his hand as his internal pulse moves in. Pauses, pauses. That's just the opening. There are tons of places where he literally takes his time super long, especially when he hits, say, bar 40. Give him back. Push forward. Don't be afraid to experiment with that melody. It is the main melody of this section. That's the first thing I want to say. Rub time, give it space. Phrase, really think about this phrasing. Second thing, right hand technique. Most of this is on the bass strings. All right, if you can, you try and keep them on strings 6 and 5 because of the tone. And because you can do that if you really want to. Presti la Goya. There you go. There's a little trick for you. Presti la Goya vibrato, 3 fingers on a string. Anyway, that aside, you want to keep it on, and so to get that lovely thick tone, and because you are trying to project out into the audience, the thumb is one of the strongest digits you have on your right hand. Use it or lose it. Okay, controversial, I know, but if I do that opening again and play through 6 strings, it cuts that B off. It's a minor detail, but it is still a detail. It comes up when you do the F sharp chord as well. Really badly, because your thumb has to touch the string microseconds before, and so it cuts that note off. So consider only playing parts of the first chord after that melody note comes in. Super important, and it will make that melody note stay out longer. 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, that melody note is part of the chord anyway. The only exceptions are maybe this one here, where you won't cut that D off because the first note is the E. And it's such a subtle D that you can't really hear it as such. You could, if you wanted to, and keep it ringing on, but that D fits in wonderfully. Bar 43, I didn't do this in the slurs video because this is such a basic slur. It really is just all about getting the notes together. It's now accepted that it's just this phrasing for bar 43. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Triplet. 4, 2, sections if you need to, and I did. Break it up, bust it up, practice in sections, put it back together again, but this is all left hand. Getting my fingers in, look at that, I'm prepping all 6 strings, leave it, hold. And actually, if you take a listen to the first reference video I've done for John Williams, he actually drops that last E to a double P, so it's super, super quiet. Last bit, again, tying this into the orchestra. 36 to 45, it's you. You're on your own. It is a solo. Enjoy it. Phrase it. Love it. Do something with it. Show expressions. Show love. However, from 46, the orchestra's back in and it enters with a cor anglais. Before you do your... Okay, and then the strings enter just before your first scale. Then again, you're up to the top of the scale. This is with the orchestra, which is why Williams phrases it like he does. Cor anglais entry, second trill. The strings pulse again underneath this so that you have a clear crotchet beat again. Then you're into the next scale, and then again, you're up at the top. Before. That is with the orchestra, which is why it's phrased like it is, and then the woodwind kick in, and then you're boom, tutti, whole orchestra. Clarinet picks up the main melody, oboe follows it into your next cadenza. Those are the bits to keep in mind when you're playing through this. 36 up until 45, you phrase, you keep the pulse. After that, conductor, orchestra back in, you have to be aware of being in with everybody else. Alrighty, the next video for this is going to pop along just about now. If you've enjoyed this, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Failing that, let's dive into the next